John. You know, John wanted to be so good. I wanted to be so good. We all wanted to be. That was the driving force behind the album.
Nobody had anything else to do. If we broke up, what would we do? Lindsay and I would go, you know, no more Buckingham Nicks either. No Fleetwood Mac, nothing. I mean, then it would have been Buckingham, Nicks, Fleetwood, McVie, and McVie solo, you know, at that point. And nobody was interested in that. Just because the people in the band weren't getting along in their love relationships really didn't have anything to do with Fleetwood Mac as a band. The band was getting along fine. The band was doing great. So it was like, so we're just going to throw this over because of our, you know, and have continuous lovers' quarrels and have no job?
Jen and I didn't talk for literally about 6 months, but the moment we went on stage, we smiled at each other, and, you know, that's business, no matter what problems we were having privately.
That made it better.
We enjoyed the hell out of playing with each other, and we still do, and that's the reason we're still together.
With 3 singer-songwriters, deciding whose tunes will go on a Fleetwood Mac album is never an easy affair. But when it comes to planning a show, Christine McVie says there's no fighting for that spotlight.
Well, I'm a band member. I've never considered myself to be anything else. I'm happy doing that. You know, Stevie is a theatric person. She performs in a sense that I don't. I mean, I stand there and just function playing keyboards, and that's all I want to do. I have no aspirations to be Margot bloody Fontaine or anything. No, I mean, the thing is that Stevie does what she does, and she's wonderful at doing that. There's no possible way that there could be any, because we're so radically different from each other.
I would love to be able to stand there and play beautiful piano, but I can't. So I'm no competition in that way at all for her, because I can't do that. And I wish I could, you know, and I wish lots of times that I could walk on stage and play. That's why I leave the stage so much, because when I don't have anything to do, I feel stupid. And I feel like, you know, like there's nothing to do, get off.
I don't have no choice. I'm limited to the spot.
She has 1 minute off stage that she runs into her tent, and it's like, bar the door, get out of the way. She's coming down because she's got to go right back up. It's the only time she gets to go off and, you know, even just rest and take a breath. That's it. Whereas then I get to leave a lot, so I really get to rest through the whole thing. I just have a whole song to do nothing. And sometimes I just, you know, sometimes I watch inside. You know, they don't like me to go out and watch them, so that's why we have these tents, right? Little Baghdad tents. And it's like, you know, the world goes on in those tents behind the stage, like a circus, you know. My tent is fun.
My tent is exactly like hers, except it's filled full of champagne bottles, and me and John McVie sit there frantically drying our hair, like, it's totally unattractive. She's got potted plants and perfume and a masseur, and it looks pretty kind of back end of the it looks exactly like all my houses look. It's the same motif. It really is a little place for me. If they find that it's champagne in my tent, they take it away. I shantae over to Christine's Hammond organ and take her drink. Have a drink, gotta put it back. It's gone, right? I drink Lindsay's Chevy sometimes, and he gets very angry with me. Fascinating.
I did this interview.
Actually, I think you've got a real coup here, if you ask me. A real coup.
Baghdad tents and onstage parties are only one part of the road for Fleetwood Mac. Lindsey Buckingham also has vivid memories of the travel, the hotels, and the exhaustion.
If I had my choice, I would probably not tour at all and stay in the studio. No one would ever see me again. But I think the reason I enjoy the studio is because there's always something new. It's a challenge. There's always something new to be learned. The road is a different situation. You're faced with the problem of trying to keep fresh, you know, I mean, you're on the road playing the same set for a year. After you go through periods where you're just not inspired, you know. The repetition of that is the thing that bothers me. You know, you feel like you're really marking time in a sense. I mean, I suppose that's what makes a professional, really, is being able to make it fresh every night. Someone who is an actor in a play, you know, has to really deal with the same problem. But at the same time, when you get done with a tour, if you've been on the road for you do feel like you've gone through hell and back, and that you've grown up a lot. After every tour, you look back and say, yeah, we really did something. And there are certain parts of a tour that make the whole thing worthwhile. When everything's right and everything's just humming,
Fleetwood Mac has been many different bands over its 17-year history. In 1983, it's 5 powerful personalities that somehow blend into one cohesive, unbeatable unit. In a moment, we'll hear how and why Fleetwood Mac has survived. Well over 20 million people own at least one Fleetwood Mac album. Success of that magnitude brings some serious pressures and also some serious benefits.
It's nice to have the freedom that money brings, certainly. The word success, you know, there's 2 kinds for me. There's what people usually, the context in which it's usually used is the kind, again, that brings money in. I mean, the external success is something which I don't really take that much stock in. I'm just always looking for the inner success, the kind that is represented by growth inside and hopefully keeping yourself open as much as possible. I'm just trying to grow as a writer and as a person, and that's the kind of success I'm interested in. It's not money, although I'm glad to have it. It does give you freedom, and I feel very lucky to be doing what I'm doing. Monday morning, you show.
For almost 2 decades, Fleetwood Mac has beaten some incredible odds to become one of music's most intriguing success stories. They're either truly dedicated to their music, the most professional musicians around, or a little crazy.
I think probably all of the above, and to an extent.
I think we're a lot more professional than we give ourselves credit for. You know, I think there's a way of saying that modestly.
No, I don't think
there isn't. I mean, we are. It's organised chaos, but we don't give the credit to how organised it is. You know, and still survive as a bunch of people that I don't think have got out of hand or are deluded. We're all, because of the nature of the way this band works from the get-go, we're a lot more involved as a band with every move that the band makes, you know, whereas there are a lot of situations where people are totally shielded, and at that point there's always a danger that, don't tell them this because it's the wrong thing for them to hear right now. I think there's very, very little of that goes on in the context of Fleetwood Mac, and I think it's helped keep an even keel, which otherwise might have definitely capsized, you know, a long time before. I think that's probably the main reason that I see, and a hell of a lot of respect for the atmosphere, which is Fleetwood Mac. When we come together as 5 people, like the rehearsal, it's very apparent, you know, and that's what you respect, you know, and you happen to enjoy doing it for the most part, you know. Of course, as I said, sticky times, but it's nothing new to us.
Maybe in a sort of narcissistic way we enjoy it all.
It's not boring.
We all have tremendous egos, for sure. But when it comes to each other, our egos really go down. And we really make sure that we stay pretty solid to each other. We can march off an airplane into a limousine and be very, you know, glamorous and everything. But when we all get into that car, or we all get into that room, or to that rehearsal room, or to that dressing room before we go on stage, then it's Fleetwood Mac, and it's Nick and John and Chris, just like it always was. And that's never changed.